Sunday. I hope that y'all have been enjoying your Sunday. So the Lord wants me to do a video on the topic message all week long. The Lord has been speaking to me about the wind of God. And, you know, God has many different names. One of the names is Ruach, Elohim. And you can find that name. It's the Hebrew name for God, the Spirit of God, wind of God, or breath of God. And you can find this in Ezekiel 37. And so God has been speaking to me a lot about the story of Lazarus, Jesus bringing Lazarus back to life. He resurrected him. So God has been speaking to me for the past 2 weeks about the passage of Lazarus in the New Testament. And there's a lot about resurrection. What does resurrection mean? Something that was once dead being brought back to life. And you can see that in Ezekiel 37, where the prophet Ezekiel is, where God is saying to prophesy to these bones so that they may live. And he does. And bones all by themselves were dead, but God brought them back to life through the words of Ezekiel prophesying with the power of God bestowed upon him. And so Jesus is the resurrection, right? All power of life and death is in his hands. The question that God wants me to pose to y'all is, what do you need God to resurrect in your life right now? If it's in his will, it's going to happen, but it's going to be within his timing and not your own. God's timing and our timing are two different things. So the timing is in his hands, not yours. You got to release the timing. So what is something that you think that you have been praying for to the Lord to resurrect? Is it your marriage? Is it your finances, your prayer life, your love for Jesus, your heart, your mind? Where do you really need the power of God? You need the labashiti la bosonte, the labokoro bosonte la makere bese, bbct la mosonte la bashata. You need the Ruach Elohim. You need Ruach Elohim to breathe upon different areas of your life, or maybe it's multiple areas of your life. It could be one of those. But where do you need the power of God to blow on right now? What's coming to mind? You need to be praying God's name. You need to be praying and saying, Ruach Elohim, I need you to breathe on my finances. Ruach Elohim, I need you to breathe on my relationship, my marriage. Ruach Elohim, I need you to breathe on my career life. Whatever it is that you've been praying to the Lord, pray his name back to him, you know? Just same way, like if you're in need of something, Jehovah Jireh means God is your provider, right? And he gives you provision for what you need. Wants and needs are two different things. They are not the same. Needs are things that are more dire, that you need immediately. Wants, you can kind of do it out, okay? But when it comes to Jehovah Jireh showing up with what you need, that's different, you know? But God has many different names. You can research them, and I mean, it's in the Bible. And if you read in the Hebrew, the Old Testament is in Hebrew, the New Testament is in Greek, and then some parts are in Aramaic. But the name Ruach Elohim is in Hebrew because the Old Testament and the book of Ezekiel is in the Old Testament. So you may not outwardly, depending on what translation of the Bible you read, see his name. But if you were to Google it, it'll let you know where you can find his name. But it's in the it'd be in the Hebrew translation. So pray and ask the Lord to resurrect and blow on whatever you need him to blow on, and know that if it's in his will, it's going to happen, but it's also going to be within his timing. But this truly has been just a week of miracles and the Lord sweeping through and doing things very quickly. So you got to know the times and seasons for certain things to happen, but don't stop praying. I don't care if it's been 2 years, 5 years, I don't know, 5 months, however long you've been praying to God about something. Don't give up, because I promise you that he is listening to you. It's just the timings and the seasons. You got to know what season you are in, and whatever needs to happen will happen when it needs to happen, basically. And whatever you need, you will need in the moment that you need it. Don't let that pass over your head. That's all for this video. And if you feel led to sow into my ministry, all of the sowing options to be a financial blessing, it can be found in the captions. But other than that, I will see y'all in my next video. Happy Resurrection Day.